greetings, Marcus Garvey students. Yes, I'm here at my vacation home out here and enjoying the scenery, enjoying everything. But I thought I would take a break to at least leave you guys a math assignment. That's the least I can do while I'm out here. So it's great out here. I mean, getting good service. And, oh, excuse me. Yeah, okay. Yes, I know there's people that's been waiting a long time. But can you let them know I'm not going to be giving any more autographs today? Could you let them know that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. Thanks for coming. I know. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So we're gonna get to this math lessons. Please take notes. Please pay attention. And I'm gonna see you guys next week. All right. Greetings. We're gonna go ahead and solve this. This is a similar triangle, and we actually have two different triangles here. It's just that they're kind of flipped. One, if you see the 90-degree box is at the top here, on this other one here it's at the bottom. So we have to look and see the corresponding angles for each one to be able to solve this, because we're trying to solve for f. We want to know what is this measurement here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So the first thing we do is we want to go ahead and color code what's similar. So I have an ML here. I make that yellow here. I'm just gonna be MK. Sorry, MK and JK. If you notice, those two are similar to each other. These two right here, similar angles. If you notice, they're right across from the right angle box, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and write those two out since they correspond. Okay, so we're talking about KM or MK, doesn't matter, MK, and then we have JK. And then what other two we have that correspond? Well, we have JK. We have, I'm sorry, not JK. We have ML and we have IJ. Okay, let's go ahead and write those out. So we have ML and IJ, and we'll go ahead and color code those two. We'll make those say blue. All right. All right. So what is MK? Yes, MK is 5. What is JK? JK is merely F. Okay. That's the measurement in here. So we're just going to put the unknown of F right there. Got the equal sign. And what is ML? Yes, ML is 2. So we're going to go ahead and put the 2 up here. And then IJ was, yes, it was 4. And so it looks like we have 2F equals 20, right? And 2 goes into 20, or 20 divided by 2 is, yes, it is 10. And so if you had F is equal to 10, you had that one correct. And so remember, that's all we're doing is we just have to remember. That's why color code helps you match things up. Okay, let's do another one, you guys. Okay, so this one right here involves finding out what is V equals. What is V equal to? This is the unknown measurement down here. We know this is 24, but we don't know these actually are similar, but we have to use the proportions here. So let's go ahead and let's get going. The first thing I want to do is look at the sides that actually are similar to each other, and we're going to go ahead and color code those. And so the first thing I want to color code is HI. Let's look at HI here. Especially I want to find out what V is. So I'm gonna deal with whatever's in that place here. I gotta mess with this. So that's V, and so HI is corresponds to, yes, KI, right? So this one down here. And so let's go ahead and write that proportion out, or let's write that fraction out, which is really what it is. So we're gonna have, we said that HI. So we said HI corresponds to KI. And then we can also say, we could say HJ, which is right here, HJ. Can anybody tell me what this corresponds to, HJ? Yes, KL. So we said that HJ corresponds to KL, right? This is KL. Same thing, right? Same thing. Now all we got to do is make it into a proportion, and then we can get our solve our problem. So we have HI. HI is actually HI. That's V. So we can just go ahead and put the V right there. The bottom here is the denominator is KI. And what did we say KI was? Yes, it was 24. And what is HJ? Yes, HJ is 34. And what is KL? Yes, KL is 51. Okay, and if you do your math correctly, 51 times V is 51V, and that's equals to 34 times 24. You have to multiply these two. If you multiply that correctly, you should get 816. So we're multiplying diagonally this way, we get 51V. We're multiplying 35 times 34. That gives us 816. We know that that means we're going to be dividing those two numbers, right? And if you divide correctly, you should have 51 goes on to 816. It goes into 81 one time, right? That's 51. And that leaves 3, a 0, and a 6. And if you do your math correctly, 51 actually goes into 306 6 times. And so we're looking at 16. All right. So if you got V equals 16, you are totally correct. Give yourself a round of applause. All right. Make sure you took those notes, you guys. I'll leave you done this way. Let's do another one. All right. Well, I'd like you guys to go ahead and pause and solve this particular challenge right here and remember what we went over as far as the examples. First thing you want to do is color code. Okay, go ahead and pause the video, write these out, pause the video, and complete these, and we'll solve them in a second. In a second. All right, all right. So the first thing I said that you needed to do was to color code. And if we're going to color code these, how about we start off with the MK right here? Right here is MK. What does that correspond to on the other side here? As you can see, it is going to be JK. And if you notice something that these two figures have in common, they both are right across from the 90-degree box here. If you notice that. You notice they're directly across. Okay, so you can see those are similar. So let me go ahead and write those out. Okay, so we have KM, right here, KM corresponds with JK. Okay, let's pick two more. And you got to remember this. You got to always put the ones that are similar across from each other. And what do I mean by that? If you look here, if you see this KM that's at the top here, this KM belongs to this square here. So the next one I'm going to be comparing is ML. So you got to make sure that's directly across from the other one you're comparing it with. Okay. The bottom here is JK. That's JK. and it should be right across from the other comparison that we have, and that was IJ, right? Which is this one right here, IJ. Okay, so we put IJ at the bottom. Just got to make sure if you don't line them up like that, you're gonna have a problem. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put some numerical values for Km. So what is Km? Yes, Km would be 5. Then what is JK? JK is essentially F, right? So we got to put F down there because that's what we're trying to figure out. And then we have the equal sign here. And then ML we said was 2 feet. And then on the bottom here, we have IJ, which we know is 4 feet. So we just put the 4 there. And we cross multiply here. F times 2 should give us 2F. Equal sign, and then 4 times 5 we know is 20. And we can pretty much look at the answer, but we're going to go through our steps, put the 2 underneath here, put the 2 underneath there. We're going to be dividing those two. So 20 divided by 2 should have given you, yes, 10. And so F is equal to 10. If you had that answer, give yourself a round of applause. All right, great job. All right, we do one more. All right, this next particular challenge we're going to do here, it's actually two triangles within one. And when you have this, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to separate them into two different triangles. Okay, so give me a second. I'm going to show you how you're going to do that. All right, and you have another one here. This particular challenge here, if you notice, you have over here to the left here, this is the original challenge here, right here. And what happens is that if you ever have two triangles within one, as you have here, what you would do is go ahead and make them two triangles, just separate them. Okay. And that's what we did here. We have KJL right here, KJL. And then the larger triangle would be KIH, if you see there, KIH. And so I just rewrote it. And if you notice here, 16 represents all the way across. Therefore, half of that would be 8, which would be the smaller triangle. That's why we have 8 millimeters here. So the next thing we want to do is we're not gonna pay attention to the left, what we have on the left. We're just gonna pay attention to these two triangles here, and we're gonna match up the corresponding and similar angles. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and go with JL here. What is JL similar to? Okay, JL, which is right here. Yes, it's similar to IH. So let's go ahead and write that down. We just said it. We said JL corresponds IH equals, let's get two more. How about KL? Right here, KL. What does it correspond to? Yes, KH. Let's write those down. So you said KL and KH. Now all we have to do is put the numerical values here, and it's a regular proportion. So JL we said was what? JL is Z. So go ahead and put your Z right here. Then what is the IH? Yes, IH is actually 30. What is KL? KL is 8. And then what is KH? KH is 16. So it looks like we have 16 times Z, which is 16Z equals, and we know that 30 times 8 is 240. And if you do your math correctly, 16 goes into 240 and goes into here one time, right? And that's 16. That gives you 8 and 0, and 16 goes into 80, yes, 5 times. And so if you had z equals 15, you were totally correct. All right, we're going to do one more and we'll be done. All right, you guys, for the last one, I want you guys to go ahead and work this one out yourself. Go ahead and pause the video and remember everything we learned today to solve this one. This particular triangle here, and there's actually two triangles within one, so I would just separate the two. So let's go ahead and do that first of all. Would break the two triangles up since there's two triangles within one, and then make sure you put the appropriate numbers here. If you notice that the larger triangle here has 60 millimeters here, not 45, because it encompasses both of these two triangles together as far as the bottom part here. So let's go ahead and let's color code the things we see that are similar, the similar or corresponding angles. Okay, so the first one we'll do is let's do IJ, and don't worry about the big diagram here. We're just dealing with these two small ones that we made here because we're going to compare these two together. It's easier that way. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is go ahead and let's do IJ. IJ is the bottom one here. What does IJ correspond with? Yes, IF over here. So let's go ahead and write that out. So we said IJ corresponds with IF. Okay, what other ones do we have? Yes, we have HJ, which is this one right here, right? HJ, which is actually, I'm sorry, right here is HJ. We want to deal with these two. I said we weren't going to deal with the top one. So yeah, this is HJ, and it corresponds to what? Yes, GF. And let's write that out. HJ corresponds to GF. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put the numerical values here so we can solve our challenge here. So what is IJ? What is IJ? Yeah, IJ is 15, so we'll go ahead and put 15 at the top. What is IF? IF is 60, so we'll go ahead and put 60 at the bottom there. What is HJ? Yes, HJ is 8, so go ahead and put 8 at the top. And then what is GF? GF we don't know. Actually, GF is actually Z. This is the unknown right here. So we're going to put a Z there. Okay, so that means all we got to do is do our multiplication. We have 15 times Z, which gives us 15Z, right? Equals 60 times 8, which is 480. So that means 15 times something is 480. We know that's what it's going to come out to. So let's go ahead and do our math here. Okay. 15 goes into 48. We know 3 times, and that is 45. That leaves us 3. And we bring the 0 down. So 15 goes into 30. How many times? It is 2. So it looks like Z equals 32. If you had 32, give yourself a round of applause. Great job, guys. All right, so I'll see you guys back when I get back. I'll see you guys next week. And until next time, one love.